Ladies and gentlemen, we are now live. This is the second podcast we're doing like this. This is the Three Amigos Fantasy Couch podcast, counting down how long it will last.
The timer has been set.
We'll see if it'll fall apart. You guys are for sure going to do every Thursday night after Thursday Night Football, right? We agreed on that.
That is agreed.
And then we'll try to do once a week up until then. Maybe try to keep it to Thursdays. We'll see.
Yeah,
it'll be fun regardless. So what are we talking about this podcast? I updated this. I did some research, looked at the odds. We got the top 10 official landing spots with Julio Jones. I'm going to have a few top 10 lists. We're going to be talking RBs, Dynasty, and whatever else you guys want to talk about. For those that are new to the show, my name is Hussein the Brain. I'm here with Mike and Drew right there.
$2.
Right on. How's it going, boys?
So top 10 landing spots for Julio Jones. This is a mixture of different odds, different research, and also my opinion. I tend to agree with what the other people say, what the professionals got, because I don't know where he's going to go. So we should start with number 10 or number 1?
Let's go backwards. So 10-1.
10. Top 10 landing spots for Julio Jones. Number 10, the Philadelphia Eagles. That's got no shot.
Yeah, not a chance.
And number 9, these guys have been moving up as of late. They're climbing up the boards, and I don't understand why. I don't know how this would possibly work, but the Los Angeles Rams at number 9, like, is that feasible?
Didn't they give up all their first round picks like every year for the next 5 years for Jalen Ramsey and
they have they're like in the worst
Stafford
situation.
How do they even
take a second?
I don't know. We're editing this on the fly right here. Let's put Seattle there.
We got a comment saying Miami.
Yeah, Seattle.
Why not put Seattle/Miami? How about that? We got Chicken9594 commenting saying, how about Miami?
Miami's out of my top 10. We'll go.
Okay.
They already have Waddle, and they already have Will Fuller.
I agree.
Devontae Parker and Gesicki.
And Devontae Parker. Yeah, it's too much. They can't do that.
And Salvin Ahmed.
Yeah. And Miles.
And Linda.
So I moved Seattle ahead of the Rams. I don't know what's up with that.
Yeah, Seattle's way more realistic. I think.
Let's go number 8, Las Vegas Raiders.
He doesn't want to go there, but I guess it's a possibility.
I don't think he has that much. I say he's a very, very little say.
You're right.
They trade him.
Perspective.
He can't do anything. They're like, we cut your ticket. Here you go. You're going to Vegas, baby. Gruden grinder.
I don't think it's going to be in Las Vegas, but I guess it's possible. They're known to do some crazy stuff.
Yeah,
they never signed big free agent names though. Like the last receiver that had a name was like Crabtree that they signed.
Tyrell Williams was a big contract that was a bust, but you're right.
I mean, it's definitely not a big name.
Not a big name.
No. Coming off a big kind of okay year.
If he goes to the Raiders, he's definitely faking an injury. Like that's, dude, I can't play.
Oh, they did get Antonio Brown, but we all know how
trade me to New England.
They got Antonio Brown for like 15 hours. Like that.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah, they did. So, that was a big.
But
time
they did land a name. They did land a name.
A bit an attempt for a big time.
Crazy name.
People are saying Seattle should go ahead of the Raiders.
Yeah, for
the
sure.
Trio would be nice.
Let's just leave it here, though. I'm done with this list.
Yeah.
This is it. This is the last edit.
Let's keep going. All
right. Number 7, Green Bay Packers.
Yeah, they should.
I don't think they have the cap, do they? Unless they trade Aaron Rodgers.
Trade Jordan Love.
Will Aaron Rodgers finally restructure his contract? He doesn't want to talk to them.
What if that happened, though? That would be crazy. They restructure Aaron Rodgers and they put Julio Jones on the squad. I mean, like overnight they'd be Devontae Adams, Julio Jones. That'd be looking nice. But I don't know how the money works or if that's feasible.
You'd have to have a Zoom call with Aaron Rodgers and Julio Jones. and then tell them like, look, we can't. You guys got to take less money.
You got to take a Tom Brady salary this year and just get Julio on the team.
Between those two, there's only one Super Bowl, though. That's the thing. Tom Brady has like so many rings. That's the thing. Between those two, it's just one Super Bowl and one like huge heartbreak loss Super Bowl. So it's like,
and one pissed off situation or quarterback situation. I mean, he didn't know about the Love thing. I mean, they'd have to trade Love, make up with Aaron Rodgers, and do something dramatic.
This is another one that I don't really see. The Ravens at number 6, like
no, that's not.
I mean,
they
already threw so many darts at the wide receiver position the last 2 years. Like, I mean, they just been getting so many wide receivers.
Dez Bryant, what was that about?
Dez Bryant, Devin Duvernay, Hollywood Brown, now Rashad Bateman. Who'd you draft? Mike Tylan Wallace. Like,
what about Hollywood?
Sammy, I said that. Yeah,
okay.
Sammy Watkins. Sammy Watkins.
Still
forget Sammy Watkins. 1 year
Boykin.
deal. Yeah, Miles Boykin. Yeah,
there's like 10 receivers you just named,
and they only use one.
Duvernay.
And Duvernay
was a first round pick, wasn't he?
I just don't think they would.
That's not happening.
Go for Julio. I don't know. We'll see.
That's not happening.
Chargers. This would be. I think now we can start getting excited. These top 5 names. Number 5, Los Angeles Chargers. I mean, this offense would be absolutely unbeatable. Like, you can't. Keenan Allen and Julio are both super elite. He definitely wouldn't fake an injury if you went to the Chargers.
He'd be a stud with Herbert throwing him bombs. Oh, man.
Yeah, Herbert could slide into QB1 for fantasy. That's how nasty this could be. Yeah.
Mike thinks he's QB1 now, huh?
Yeah. Well, I mean, he could be this year.
In Dynasty startup?
Dynasty, yeah.
You're a Herbie guy.
Oh, yeah. I'm a big Herbert believer, truther.
Big Herbie guy.
Side the guy 21, what's up? See a YouTube comment there.
I got in early on Herbie.
Number 4, this would be great, but we all know the Colts is so skimpy when it comes to wide receivers. It's so they don't want to spend. I don't even understand this, but this is the perfect. If there's a team that needs to go all out for a wide receiver, it's the Colts. They have one of the best defenses. Carson Wentz, we've seen him play MVP caliber. I think he still has that in him. Maybe he doesn't. I mean, he might suck. Like, I'm looking at both outcomes. I think both outcomes are very plausible. He might be borderline elite once again, or he might suck. But in order for you to increase the chance of him being borderline elite, he's going to need a guy like Julio. Julio Jones changes this whole offense.
Oh, yeah.
You got 3 wide receivers right now. Julio is the one. You got Pittman and Hilton. That's nasty. Without Julio, it's like, it's a total gamble here. Like, we don't like 50-50 if this offense is going to be good or not.
Plus Taylor in the backfield. Oh, he's going to have a big year too. I mean,
Naheem Hines is what, like, the backfield is great. Like, they work. They
even brought back Marlon Mack just to have
depth insurance. Yeah. So come on. And Naheem Hines is really coming into his own. Big plays, really quick. Great runner, incredible pass catcher. Just not a workhorse per se, but man,
he's got a role though. He's got a role on that offense.
Yeah, a big role. Yeah, and man, he really he reminds me like Darren Sproles. That's what I've been comparing him to.
Alex Chapman though made a good point. He said the problem is they already gave a first for Wentz next year, and the GM likes to make picks. So it is a good point. I guess he's saying that the GM there likes to make his own picks. He likes his own guys, they say. Plus, they already gave one up for Wentz. Now, is it going to take a first?
Look, it's unlikely that just thinking like if I was the Colts front office, I'd say it's unlikely. But that like I already said that like we'll see. It still makes a lot of sense. Like it's a move that they do. But I don't see the Colts getting any wide receivers. Like
I think it's like a 2 and a 4, the package deal, like a 2nd and a 4th. Like, I don't think it's going to be a first-round pick, but if someone's going to bump up the offer from, say, just a solid second-round pick, it might be someone putting in a 3rd or 4th.
Here's what I'm thinking. A 2nd straight up is way too little. There'd be no deal. There's too much demand. I think a 2nd – I think every team would have to offer more than a 2nd.
Right on. Yeah.
Second and a fourth sounds very like that. A second and a third, I think
wouldn't a first just get it done? I feel like any team that has to offer a first, I feel like should get it done.
Yes, and that's not a and that could happen realistically.
Yeah.
Especially if he's willing to restructure and he likes the team and everything. Yes.
Yeah, well, look what the Rams did with Stafford. I mean, they blew everybody else's offer away with, I think, 2 first-round picks. So, yeah, you're right. Anybody could at any point just slap down the offer and then he's there. Yeah. But it hasn't happened yet, obviously. I mean, it's June. Supposedly it's, the month he can be traded financially speaking, more reasonable at least.
As much as I'd love him in New York, I don't.
No, that's New England.
Oh, I say, yeah, New England. I don't know why I read New York. New England. We'll see. So number 3, San Francisco 49ers. Do you guys think that Julio has forgiven Shanahan? I don't even think that's a real question. I think the blame is on all their. I think Shanahan deserves the most blame. I think the blame is on everybody.
Yeah, Julio needs to catch touchdown passes, so that's his fault. He failed to do that when it mattered the most. But I think it would be such a good fit if somehow we could get him on the Niners. I think it would be like the missing piece just to take us all the way to the Super Bowl. Obviously, that might be a biased take, but I really, truly believe that.
Well, I don't think he was the reason necessarily or sole reason they lost that Super Bowl. But
who's he?
Julio Jones. I mean,
Julio Jones is much less blame. Yeah, there's more blame.
Definitely played, I think, a pretty big role in that game, if I remember correctly. But I don't think he has any ill will towards Shanahan. I know that's probably a half joke or anything, but he's going to love playing on the Niners if he goes there. I mean, they got an up-and-coming young team still. I mean, the quarterback, Jimmy Garoppolo, can get the ball downfield. We know that. And they could put some big plays together, having him, Depot, and Ayuk as the 3 workhorse receivers.
You can't stop the Niners horizontally. You can't stop the run game. They're excellent blocking. Now, if Julio can open up the vertical game, it'll just be unstoppable. Right now, Niners' top vertical threat, probably George Kittle. And so,
if you're looking down the seam, you're right. I mean, Kittle's going to be short yardage and yards after the catch. Ayuk's probably more like a chain mover. He might be your better downfield threat.
Yeah,
who knows?
He's still young. He's still a question. He's still developing. So that's what I'm saying. But Julio, you already know, like you're getting one of the best. What do we got here? Being a Chargers fan, I think we do well. And 9-7 or 10-6. Regular season record for it. Actually, there's 17 games now, buddy.
But his point's valid. He's thinking that it's going to be.
He's saying around 10 wins. I don't have an issue giving up a first being a pick 20.
So he's just saying that, they'd be winning.
It'd be a late first round pick.
Theoretically.
If they traded for Julio Jones with their first round pick.
Titans. I think this is probably what's going to happen. I think Titans.
This is Twitter Periscope Live, baby. Twitter user saying, Monkey saying he's going to the Titans. Too much connection.
I agree, Monkey. Man. I agree.
So that's number 2 on my list, Tennessee Titans. That would be great. I think it would be more perfect if they had a better defense, but that would be – I think everybody would be happy there.
Me and Hussein just saw the Tennessee Titans Stadium like 2 weeks ago. It was pretty sick. It would be cracking if you went and watched the game in like downtown there.
Yeah, it looked better than where the Memphis Grizzlies played.
Yeah,
we also went to Memphis the next day.
What was that?
That's okay. We probably have some people from Memphis here, so let me
great.
No, we don't.
Oh, we don't. No, we don't. Very unlikely.
I guarantee we don't.
But Tennessee, what about Tannehill? What's his value like if they get Julio? I mean, does he catapult into
through the roof
quarterback?
Through the roof. No, I'd say he gets he's a little better than the last 2 years.
He doesn't throw the ball very much.
He does though. He gets a lot of fantasy points. I know that.
Well, he gets enough from he still has the what Twitter says the Konami cheat code. He runs enough to get the rushing points. That's an actual term Twitter came up with. He runs just enough, get you 30, 40 rush yards. And so that's enough to, be like he's a running quarterback in terms of fantasy. And then he's always done well. I don't think he's like top 5. I think
top 10. Top 15 for sure.
I think he's going to I think he's like the 13th best QB.
Yeah, that sounds right.
So
because there's a lot of good. So I got Stafford and Brady like right around top 10ish, right outside top. So I'm not putting him ahead of those guys, but he'll be right there. Which is, I'm talking about a guy who's like
late.
I'm gonna rank him just after like Brady and Stafford possibly. That's pretty impressive, I think.
Not bad.
No one thinks of him as like a QB1.
No, he's always on waivers.
Yeah, always.
Always.
He's a league winner.
He's the example of when you go like, don't draft quarterback early in one QB redraft.
Yeah.
It's because you can get a guy like Tannehill.
Exactly.
That's like always.
Don't waste your picks. Don't waste your picks on quarterbacks.
We had a couple comments on that. So we have Monkey saying Tana Wheels is top 7. That's what I was mentioning earlier.
No, let's not read.
Don't
even read that. He's got a Tennessee Titans jersey. Like this, the bias. The bias is strong with this one, and it's obvious.
Check the next comment. Though. So we have a Facebook user saying someone has to catch those 1-yard TD catches that Jonnu did last year.
True.
Yeah, they'll lose out on Jonnu, but AJ Brown seemed to catch a touchdown.
Who's their tight end now?
Anthony Ferkser, baby, sleeper tight end of the year for sure. Anthony Ferkser. Oh, this guy has a nickname.
ASAP Ferk.
ASAP Ferk. See, we don't even know his nickname. We got. Oh shoot, this guy might be from Memphis, huh? Best barbecue. Drew, can you go on my Twitter?
Barbecue.
Can you go on my Twitter or Facebook and pull up that barbecue picture? It's amazing.
The best barbecue.
Producer Drew.
Central Barbecue in Memphis.
My personal Instagram, my personal Twitter or Facebook. Give me that link, baby. We're gonna post some Memphis.
They were out of brisket though.
This link is coming in hot.
There we go. There you go. This is my God! Look at this, guys. Look at this barbecue.
Whoa, so intense! Like
that. Wow. It was the best barbecue ever. The greens were good. Like the greens were amazing.
Yeah, I usually don't eat a lot of green stuff, but I might try those.
Half the places the greens are disgusting. Like is
that mac and cheese or potato salad?
I got the potato salad. I want to take it easy, so we had to do a video shoot right after.
Yeah,
it's good when you can't tell if it's mac and cheese or potato salad.
That's banana pudding?
That's good potato salad. That's good potato salad,
bro. The barbecue is just off the chain.
That's a little wafer pudding.
Memphis, come on, everyone likes what people that love football usually love barbecue and love chicken wings. I think.
Yeah. I think they like John Morant too.
I'm just mad they knocked the Warriors out, so I'm kind of still salty about that.
Yeah, he played unbelievable. But
back on task. Number 2, Tennessee Titans, and I was just saying, number 1, New England Patriots. I actually do see them possibly making this move
for sure
because come on, it makes so much sense.
This is what they do
for sure.
They lost. They lost like all their players last year where they're opt-outs and whatnot. They're getting their defense back. They got Nelson Aguilar. They got the duet tight ends, Jonnu and Hunter Henry. And now it would complete the puzzle. The team that beat them 28-3, this is the moment where Anakin Skywalker actually joins the dark side. He was the chosen one. He goes to Bill Belichick and he joins the dark side, the team that beat him in that Super Bowl. Come on, this makes a lot of sense. The thing, I don't know where he's gonna go. I think there's 10 places that are very realistic he can go, but I think this does make sense.
Bill should do it. I mean, it's the perfect match. I mean, if you think about it, they already reloaded all off season. It was pretty obvious they wanted to get as many players in there as they could that could help them win games because they didn't want to have a season like last year. It was said all over the media that Bill Belichick didn't want to lose like he lost last year. So yeah, why not? Why not have Julio Jones on the team? Get him up there with, you got the 2 free agents you mentioned plus the 2 tight ends.
Yeah, and this is what the Patriots do. They have a history like with Randy Moss. They like older, past their prime wide receivers that still have talent. Yeah, Chad Johnson, Antonio Brown. The list goes on. But this is definitely the Bill Belichick playbook. So I think that he's definitely going to try to do this again.
Yeah, and why not use the first-round pick on someone like Julio? He's still under contract for the next 3 years. I think at a pretty reasonable amount, like $15 million salary cap.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
Well, for a top-end wide reciever.
But it takes a lot of the salary cap, like you mentioned. So they'd have to do some, like, I don't know, finagling with the numbers. Yeah, maneuvering.
Antonio Brown as well. That's another.
Yeah, I said that. I said that Facebook
yeah.
user.
Yeah,
just kidding.
So this AFC NFC thing, I think that's a rumor. So I got a pretty good BS meter. And so I think if it's very, very, very close, if it's a tie, ideally they would want to trade the AFC, trade Julio Jones to an AFC team. I do believe that. But if one team's offering a second and a third, and another team's offering a second and a fifth, I think they just go to the second.
The better offer.
They're just gonna go. They're not a win. They literally had the 4th pick in the draft. What have they done? They got Kyle picks, amazing pick, sexy pick, but that's not gonna, a rookie tight end is not gonna change your outlook for this year. It's even better if they tank and build more for the future. Go get a quarterback in a year or two. Go just build their defense from scratch. Absolutely. So I don't it's not like, oh, I'm going to trade. Oh my God. Like, we're going to face Julio one time this season. Who cares? Like, what's that going to do? Like, how's that going to change the trajectory of your franchise, which is going straight down the hole anyway? You guys literally the 4th worst team. Like, it's not going to get much better. Still don't have a defense.
Yeah, the only difference it makes is if you're trading within the division, because then you got to play the guy like twice a year forever until he's off that team. But really, it's not going to matter if it's just a team, within the NFC versus within your division.
Yeah, it's still within your division. Like, I kind of get that, but still, you can still be tanking. So for the people that are just joining in, and so I went mostly off what I researched and the odds, and it's pretty messy. So that's what I based most of it off of, and then I just did a little bit more. I just did a little bit tinkering with my own opinion. So I also have number 12 Cardinals, number 13 Chiefs, number 14 Browns, number 15 Jaguars, number 16 Bills, number 17 Giants, number 19 Cowboys. Oh, sorry, number 18 Cowboys, and number 19 Miami Dolphins. I think we've exhausted the list of possible landing spots.
It's like half the league.
Yes. Moving on.
This is. I think. But I wanted, I have ADD, and I wanted to do, this segment is every possible landing spot I think he can go to, and I ranked them from 1 through 19 to satisfy those other listeners and viewers with ADD. So hopefully that helped out. You're wondering where Julio Jones is going. Let's face it, that's the biggest news. That and Aaron Rodgers, right? And we don't know what's up with Rodgers, so that's the biggest news right now.
No telling what he does. No telling at this point. Although I said Broncos, who knows?
No, that's up to him. Okay,
Mr. Gibson.
In other news, we have Antonio Gibson, who I really like. And you know what, guys? We turn negatives into positives, and this new news could be really good. Okay, Antonio Gibson says, Mike, we have a private chat, right? Okay, he does. His computer's not working or something. I don't know what's going on. Oh, he's gone.
Back in here. We'll get him back.
He'll get back. This is what's good about the 3-man podcast. If we lose, next man up.
You're not.
We'll have him go back to the trainers. Have him get adjusted, and he'll be back. Before the next quarter starts, Mike will be back.
Probably right after halftime, knowing Mike. Right about halftime.
After Beyonce performs.
Yeah.
It's lit. So Antonio Gibson, this is the direct quote from him.
Speaking of Memphis, we got our undrafted rookie free agent from Memphis.
This is the quote he said. I think this sums it up best. So, and this is Antonio Gibson talking here. It was something small that was causing me not to be able to run 100%, Gibson said. But I'm fine now. I've been cutting in and practicing and getting better each day. He's talking about his turf toe that happened towards and was nagging towards the end of last season, and it's still lingering. And so if this makes his ADP go down, causes his ADP to go down, I'm going to like it. because I'm all in on Antonio Gibson. I think everything checks out, and this quarterback situation, it really couldn't have gotten much worse than last year, because Alex Smith went back to being Alex Smith. We know that Alex Smith was very successful because of the system he was in on the Chiefs, because of his coaches and supporting cast. After he left the Chiefs, he reverted back to old Alex Smith. He's the check down king. We saw J.D. McKissick get 1,100 receptions per game. It was just insane if you broke it down.
You're right, though.
It's nuts. And a guy like Terry McLaurin, I'd say, did better with Dwayne Haskins. Even though he couldn't even throw the ball to him, he at least was like, hey, this is a big, talented wide receiver. Let me chuck it up. Let me do something. Well, Alex Smith didn't even throw the ball to him. And so the quarterback plays better. We know Antonio Gibson's the guy. Coach Ron Rivera showed a lot of confidence in him, saying this is the guy for sure. This is another guy that I was wrong on. I was like, look, he's not a running back. He's not a wide receiver. He's a rookie. In Dynasty, he's worth taking a shot at, but I was like, avoid this guy. And in redraft. And I was wrong. This is one of the guys that I was so wrong on. Luckily it wasn't a big enough mistake to destroy teams, but it was definitely a miss by me. And now I'm all in. I'm not gonna go with my takes from last year. I'm changing this.
Fool me once, shame on you.
Well, some people keep the same takes from last year, the same takes, the same guys.
Yeah, it's good to switch it up.
I'm not doing that with not this one. I'm all in on Antonio Gibson. And if he falls around 3 because of this, I'm taking it. So this news came out June 2nd. Okay. And how many months? We got July, August, September. So we have over 3 months till the NFL regular season kicks off. Something like that. Whatever. Let's say 3 months. That's a good, if you take care of the toe, that's a good amount of time for it not to be an issue at all for the coming
season. He'll be fine. As long as he doesn't re-aggravate this injury in one of the OTAs or upcoming practices and whatnot, he'll be fine. And I agree with your take on Antonio Gibson being a stud. And their offense will be a lot better, you're right, with Fitzpatrick. It can't be much worse. And they now have Curtis Samuel, too. I think they got a lot of good opportunities to win games.
He's back.
Roommate restarted the router. My bad.
Thank you, Roommate.
The stream did not like Mike being number 2. It had to make him be on the. I don't know. The stream likes Mike on the bottom. It was like let's change this up. Let's do it.
Don't revolt, everyone.
It wasn't a bathroom break.
No. Literally, I was like, "What the?" I know. I texted him. I was like, "What's going on? Did the internet cut out?" He's like, "Oh yeah." I was like restarting it. I was like, "Oh, I was on a live podcast. It's all good."
Was it one of those things? Comcast will be here from 12 to 5 p.m. and just happened to be now.
Next time, tell your roommate you're hopping on live.
I didn't think that was gonna happen.
We live and learn. That's how you do. Yeah. We're gonna
show everyone. This proves it.
Yeah, it's
live. It doesn't happen during Warzone, right?
Yeah, this isn't CGI. This is real.
So I got ADP saying Gibson's going 2.01, but he's not going that early. He's going mid round 2.
No way. No chance.
Probably mid round 2.
Yeah,
maybe early round 3 if you're lucky.
Yeah, he almost never falls to round 3. But if this causes him to fall to round 3, I'm gonna absolutely love it. This is the stud right here, guys. I like Gibson more than Eckler. I like him more than Josh Jacobs. I think I might even like him more than Cam Akers. I don't know yet.
Is he a workhorse?
Literally trying to trade for him.
He's a workhorse in my eyes. Yes, I believe so.
Wow. Before this podcast, I literally was texting a league mate trying to trade for Gibson. But yeah, that's another story. But I get your point. I think he's going to ball out. The dude's got a lot of potential, and he's still only 22 years old. There's so much on the tread on those tires.
Yeah, he wasn't
at Memphis.
Used.
He wasn't even. Yeah, he wasn't used at Memphis. I think what's the name of the running back that just came out? Gainwell, I think. He was the star running back at Memphis. Gibson sat on the bench. So yeah, the sky's the limit this year for this guy. If he gets a good quarterback next couple years, with those wide receivers too.
That'll never happen.
Hey, they could go for a good quarterback sometime.
Hey, look, they changed their team name. They fired like 22 people. Maybe the curse has been lifted.
That's true.
Maybe.
What happened?
Not until Dan Snyder leaves. Not until Dan Snyder.
In Paranormal Activity, as we saw in the sequels, we saw that they transferred the curse, right, or whatever, the possession. So I think these guys can transfer this to the Houston Texans. And
I think they did already.
I think it's happened. I think
that happened already.
I think the curse is with the Texans. And
turnover on downs, change of possession.
Washington football team might not be cursed anymore.
I hope so. Good. Ron Rivera and I went to the same high school, Seaside High. Shout out Seaside High.
Seaside's finest, Ron Rivera. Okay.
The finest of Seaside
Shout out.
High. Super Bowl champ. Speaking of the Super Bowl.
We have another top 10 list. This is according to Sportsbook, so I'm just gonna, for those of you watching, can see the exact odds. But I'll just do a top 10 basically of the most likely teams to win this year's Super Bowl. Number 1, Chiefs. Number 2, Buccaneers. Number 3, Bills. Number 4, Rams. Number 5 is tied with the Ravens and Niners.
Yeah.
Number 7, Browns. Number 8, Packers. 9, Broncos. And 10, Colts. And they're actually number 11 is Seahawks, too. They're up in here. Number 12, Cowboys. Come on. Now it starts. Now we're getting frisky here.
Seahawks.
Now the jokes are coming in.
I like the Seahawks. That's a good value bet, I feel like.
They don't have the defense.
That's true.
I think a good value bet is the Browns. Now, I'm not saying Baker Mayfield is a Super Bowl quarterback.
They have the defense, though.
But they have the defense.
Yeah,
they have some weapons.
They got the coach. Yeah.
I like that.
Ooh. You know who I'm going? How about the same bet, right, Mike? Well, I go with the Colts and hope they get Julio Jones, and then I'll lose the bet.
Then I'll take the Broncos and hope they get Rodgers and do the same thing.
Whoa. Yeah. I guess
they're the same odds too.
I guess somewhat it's the same odds that the Colts get Julio as the Broncos get Rodgers. Because
what do our commenters think about that? Let's pull them. That's a good poll.
Say it
again. Sorry to interrupt.
Anybody comment? Who do you think is going to win the Super Bowl? Who's some good dark horses? I made a TikTok way before the Niners traded up or anything that my 2 dark horses were the Rams and Niners. Well, now they're not. I mean, they're not dark horses at all anymore. Now they're both top 5. So, those 2 teams are
what about
really
the Cardinals?
Good.
Cardinals, if they get Julio, that could be something.
It's odd that they're so low.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I don't
think they have Kyler. They have a lot of weapons.
Yeah, I feel like they should be ahead of the Cowboys.
For sure.
Yeah, I'd put them right there, at like 12-ish. That's why the NFC
probably
West
ahead of the
so
Dolphins, too. How are the Dolphins ahead of the Cardinals with Tua?
Well, Dolphins are 13. You see what I mean? So it's starting to get really, really frisky there,
Yeah.
They have a great defense.
The Saints at 20 higher than the Cardinals.
Yeah, the Saints ain't going to win anything. Come on. That's garbage.
That's a bad bet.
That's not.
It is,
Jameis, baby.
No, but you were saying earlier, that the Colts getting Julio.
Oh yeah, it's the same odds as Rodgers going to the Broncos. Because even though Colts is a perfect fit, they can do it they still might not. They can get outbid. So it's about the same. I guess that's both those. Because if the Broncos do get Rodgers, that's way sexier than the Colts getting Julio. Because Rodgers is one of the best quarterbacks to ever play the game, and Broncos are set. They have everything. They got the weapons on offense and their defense. I like the defensive coach, their system. Their defense is going to be just fine. They can easily be top 7, top 10 defense. And, you got Rodgers there. That makes him top 7, top 10 defense is incredible with Rodgers. That's enough to do it. That's enough to win the ship.
Yeah, they would keep that defense off the field if they had Rodgers. So
yeah,
it would be incredible, honestly. But yeah.
What else we got to talk about?
Well, you had some other odds there, I think, on winning.
Well, it's about the same. It's basically the same thing. Super Bowl and win totals. They're about the
Cowboys,
same.
10 wins for this.
Rams under.
This is actually the one that the Eagles are third to last, tied with the Jags, Bengals, and Jets. 6.5 wins over under.
Ooh, that's a good
Eagles.
one. I would do over for that.
It's pretty easy to win 6 games, so I think if they just somehow get lucky and win that 7.
They got Devontae Smith. I think that will help.
Oh, it will for sure.
You know what? What this is telling me, that Vegas thinks that quarterback situation will start to unravel, and then they'll start like their 4-string. Like at the end, they'll start. Essentially,
people don't believe in Jalen Hurts. A lot of people don't. So that's why
they believe in Trevor Lawrence more than they do Hurts at this point, or about the same.
Well, I mean, he's a number 1 pick. I mean, Jalen Hurts isn't the same category.
He's the hottest thing since Andrew Luck and Peyton Manning. Like, it's a pretty big deal.
Yeah. Never played a game though. Never played a game yet. We'll see. I mean,
they're only giving them 6.5 wins, so it's not like
that could be a good one.
Football team 8.
That could be a good one.
Dolphins at 9.
8 is low for Washington. I think Washington's better than the Cowboys.
And the Browns get at least 11.
Steelers under 8.5. Big Ben's so old. I feel like if anything happens to him, their whole season's down the
they do have Dwayne Haskins and Mason Rudolph.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You made a point twice.
That's that's when I start to feel sorry for the Steelers.
Dwayne Haskins, that means you already lost. Like, just give up.
Dwayne Haskins in a Bumblebee Steeler uniform. Is there anything grosser than that?
Oh, that's just bad. That's Juju Smith-Schuster.
I see what you did there.
Poo-poo
Smith-Schuster. Is it Claypool's time yet? Is he going to be the best receiver now?
Oh, man.
Well,
Claypool.
Deontay's still pretty solid in it, of course. Juju.
But Claypool's the most talented.
Deontay's the safest. It's funny how I can miss and be right about a guy at the same time. Claypool. Like, he's like an amazing talent, and he just crushed it, and also he sucked. He
was a rookie though. He's a rookie.
It's been reported that he's tried to be like a diva or something.
He needs Big Ben. He can't be relying on Dwayne Haskins. It's not gonna be good. He needs a good quarterback.
Yeah. Well, he was in the news earlier in the year for
he got in a fight.
The bar fight?
Yeah. That's already bad judgment. Like, you already know he's like not the smartest.
That's I have him in all my dynasty leagues.
I know.
Lots of shares.
He should be better though. He should be better this year. More consistent at least.
But I can't complain because I got him late in all my redraft and dynasty leagues. So it's not like I had to. Everybody's like, what? I was like, wait, you'll see.
You picked him up off waivers in the Empire League. That was a smooth move.
Yeah, that was.
I did. I probably drafted him, and I dropped it probably. That's the type of stuff. No, did I? No, you sure? No,
you drafted him.
No, I think that was I think that was redraft.
That was redraft. Right.
Yeah. I mean, my team sucks. Like, why would I ever drop Claypool?
Yeah, that doesn't make sense.
So in redraft, I dropped him because I had to, and then I spent all my. As I say, I blew my wad.
Oh, yeah.
Fab.
My fob.
Your fob.
I spent 100% FAB on it. And then your boy Pizza was like, what? Why would you do that? He's a Steelers. I'm like, dude, you're
just
Steelers.
On a side note, every time I hear the word FAB, I just want to say FABOLOUS. Doesn't everybody want to?
Nobody wants to say that.
No, okay, no one even knows that reference. Like all the people watching, that was like.
Okay, I'm gonna.
And what's weird is it's actually FAAB, but people don't like that. It's free agent acquisition budget, but people don't like that.
I was thinking about Mr. Fab actually.
Yeah,
I thought you were going to say Mr. That's who I identify with growing up in the Bay Area.
There you go. Or
Fabio. I guess you were watching 106 in Park back
definitely
in the day.
Not Fabio. Most of our listeners don't even know.
Drew was on the East Coast tip.
Yeah, too much.
He was listening to Ja Rule and 50 Cent. It was crazy.
Yeah, too much.
All right, guys, I have devised the perfect settings for Dynasty for if you want to create a Dynasty league, you want to be a commissioner. Now, this can change as it changed last year, but I love these settings so much, and I'm going to say why. And then again, next year I might change it. So if you're setting up a Dynasty league, I totally believe this is the best setting. These are the best settings. So I would make it super flex. This truly makes quarterbacks relevant. If it's not super flex, you can stream quarterbacks, especially a 10-team dynasty. You can stream quarterbacks. It just makes them irrelevant. And then it goes back to that thing. Why are we playing fantasy that's the opposite of real life? In real life, the quarterback is hands down the most important position. It's hands down the one that affects you to win, that affects the outcome of the game the most, affects how far you go in the playoffs, win a Super Bowl, how many wins you get, is the one position that people reach for in draft. Carson Wentz, Mariota, RG3, and this year's we can see a bunch of quarterbacks, Trey Lance, Zach Wilson. Like, it should be more like that, I think. On top of that, why not make it 6 point for passing touchdown? Just really, why not? Since they're that important, let's really top it off and make it like that. It also kind of evens things out. The cheat code is still there. It still matters if you have a Lamar Jackson or Kyler Murray. The cheat code being rushing yards for quarterbacks is still important, but not as big of a cheat code. Passing touchdowns is still really, it makes it more important. It makes quarterbacks more important and evens things out a little bit. Then I'd make it tight end premium. So it's full PPR. I'd also make tight end premium and make it so 1.5 points per reception only for the tight end position. And this, I didn't actually like this at first because everyone drafts tight ends, and I saw myself ahead for rookie drafts. So I saw myself ahead of the curve, and I'm like, let me let all these guys draft rookie tight ends while I don't. That's a great move to do. But whatever. I'm gonna spread the wealth and tell everybody my big secret. So if you make it tight end premium, you actually might want to draft rookie tight ends in your rookie drafts. If it's not tight end premium, other than Kyle Pitts, don't ever draft a rookie tight end. It's so dumb. You can always get them in a year or two. Look at didn't people draft the Patriots rookie tight ends a year ago?
Oh yeah, Asai and Dalton Keene.
Yeah, I barely know these. These guys have no name. Look at them now. You can get them.
They've been replaced
for $0 fab. You can get them for the front cover of a Mr. Fab CD. You can get them for anything, dude.
Keep going with the Fab references. That's great.
For some, I can't believe it's not butter. Fabio, you can get it for anything for free. So it changes the game. It makes a fourth round rookie draft pick, tight end being drafted in the fourth round, boosts them up to round 3. So now quarterbacks are more important. Rookie tight ends are more important. It totally changes the game. And then to top it off, I would make sure it's 3 wide receivers. Now, guys, if you do this, peep this. The big 3 right now in Dynasty is Najee Harris, Jamar Chase, and Kyle Pitts, if we're not talking quarterbacks. Now, with these settings, I think all 3 of us can make an argument for a separate player. For me, it's Kyle Pitts is the king out of those 3. But Drew, so Mike agrees. Who's the king now, Drew, with these settings? Is it Kyle Chase, Pitts, Najee, or Pitts?
Well, I'll tell you, I actually had this opportunity in the Captain's Dynasty League draft. So we did the veteran draft first, the startup. Then we did the rookie draft. I actually had Trevor Lawrence the 1st overall, and I had the 4th overall. I made some moves, right? I went Kyle Pitts, and the settings are almost identical to this here. My point being, I think Kyle Pitts is going to be a star for the next 12, 15 years and get more additional points just having Matt Ryan a sufficient quarterback, at least for the first couple years of his career. So I don't
even think the quarterback matters, to be honest.
You may be right. You may be right. But that's what
throw, like Darren Waller, right? It didn't matter when Mariota was the quarterback for 3 quarters. Waller still looked great. It's Darren Waller. He's 6'9". Just
let him go get it. Yeah, absolutely. I think Pitts is going to be a game changer. And I think that, you're right. It won't matter if a new quarterback's in there in 3 or 4 years. He's still going to be the best tight end in the game, or if not top 2.
So, yeah, I think with Julio out too, like they're going to have to use Kyle Pitts. Excuse me. And yeah, like he's a once in a generational tight end, like Drew said. So he could be like Calvin Johnson in the tight end position. That's what I foresee him becoming.
Yeah, and the tiers in tight ends, it's so spread out. You have literally like a handful of guys who are like, say, the top 1 and 2 tiers maybe, and then there's a big drop off. And I imagine that's going to be the case for years to come. Plus, young tight ends take a year or 2 usually to develop into actually, good players most of the time. Kyle Pitts isn't going to take a year or 2 to develop. You're going to have like the best tight end first year out the gate. If not, he's going to be top 3.
I agree, but just to be specific on the details, I'm just going to say it's very top heavy. And so you're talking about tier, and because
right.
like I'm just want to be like make it more exact. So what Drew said is right, but it's very top heavy, and then after that it's tight end roulette. And so I think that's just a better way to put it. And also, how old is Kelsey? Look that up.
31.
Kelsey, 31. So it's gonna like Kelsey's gonna be dominant for another year or 2, but that's gonna change. And when that changes, Kyle Pitts could easily be tight end 1 in 2 years. Tight end 1 is the best tight end in fantasy football.
Waller's 29, and I think Kittle's he's 28. Waller's 28, and I think George Kittle is like 26 or 7.
Yeah, 20.
So right.
He's 26 at most. I think he's 25, 26. I think he made it just turned 26. Kittle's still young, but
I have a question real quick. So I'm probably one of the few dynasty teams that has both Waller and Kyle Pitts because I picked the best available. But if you were in my position, like hypothetically, do you think it's in my best interest to try to trade Darren Waller? Not now necessarily, but definitely like once his value's a little bit higher.
Yeah, definitely. But it's one of those things where people know. They want to smell you're desperate, like a shark smelling blood in the water. So I think that's the only advice I'm giving you is don't try to act like you're not desperate, because you'd be like, man, I could start both these, I could start them in flex.
I would only trade it to someone whose like biggest weakness was tight end and they had like good assets, as well.
Yeah, it's got to be a great offer. Give me a good young wide receiver, like if someone gave me like T. Higgins in a first for Waller.
Yeah,
something like that.
Think about that. You'd have to think about that.
Yeah, if you get an overpay offer, you got to take an overpay. No matter what. Usually your team is going to improve by getting the overpay. But even spreading out and getting some depth, 2 guys, maybe that would fill a couple of spots in your roster for Waller because he is older and he's playing for the Raiders. Honestly, he's at his
highest value right now, I would say.
George Kittle is 27 years old.
So I was right this time, but
we got to get that right.
That'll be the last.
Wait, how old's Waller? 29, you said?
Yeah. I thought you need to look at it. And I said you got to look it up. You got to give. That's your job. You got to give us the.
Waller is 28 years old.
You got to give us the
September 13th, 1992.
So he's gonna be 29 soon.
Yes, this year.
Yeah. So he's actually 29.
Yeah, if you can spread out the talent or get good assets back in terms of draft capital.
I think if I got a first and then maybe a third and then like a starter, like either a receiver, I think I could do it. I would do it. You know what I mean? Something like that.
Yeah. Kyle Pitts is almost a sure thing unless he's injured, honestly. So you should probably look into that. And you might want to see how the first couple weeks go of the season. If he's killing it, Waller, and you're 4-0, you might not want to make the change because, like Hussein said, you put him in the flex, you dominate. And
that's how I have it right now. I have Pitts in the flex, but Waller as the starting tight end. So, but it's kind of weird to have a tight end in the super flex. Not the super flex, but the non-QB.
Yeah, but this is like the exception.
I think. That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm going to try it. I'm going to see how it goes. But this would be the only exception, I think.
Yeah, you never want to do that. Yeah, but Pitts is like he is like a wide receiver, and so is Waller. He's very much like a tall wide receiver.
Hussein and I made a tight end trade recently. I sent him Cole Kmet and my 3rd round pick from 2023 for Mike Gesicki and his 5th round pick from 2023. So I tried to upgrade my tight end position a little bit there.
Okay, so you think Kmet was no, you got Gesicki or you got Kmet?
I got Gesicki. I feel like I needed a more proven.
Yeah, that's an upgrade. Yeah.
I needed a more proven tight end.
But he got a higher draft pick. Hussein did, right?
Yeah, we basically swapped a 3 and a 5. And he's got Kmet, who's got probably more years of production.
Kmet's from Notre Dame, so they're a good tight end school. So he has a lot of star potential still, I think. But now that he has Justin Fields, I think the value went way up for sure.
I can agree. I think Justin Fields is going to be a star, but
yeah. I mean, he's going to start for sure, like early.
Yeah, well, he's going to be a star. I think he's going to be a stud.
I don't know about that. He's on the Bears.
We'll see.
Tough guy.
We'll see.
He's a winner.
Player. So I traded you Gesicki in a 5th, right, for Kmet in a 3rd.
Yep.
I'm not. Yeah. Well, I'm rebuilding. I'm the only team that's like fully rebuilding, playing for the future. So Kmet's younger. I get a draft pick. I think it's the year I like too. I think it's a 2023 good draft class, hopefully. So. No, it was a good pick. And then Gesicki is more of a proven tight end. I was very happy with the trade.
Yeah, I think it's fair on both sides. So
I liked it a lot from my team. So we have Battle of the Quads. If you guys haven't noticed, Giovanni Bernard's picture just came out.
Haters will say it's Photoshop.
That's intense.
So we have AJ Dillon, aka Quadzilla. We have Quad Davis, Mike Davis. We have Gio Quaddy Bernard, the bottom left here.
His leg looks like a pecan. It's like weird.
A pecan. And then we have Saquon Barkley.
That's gotta be Photoshop. I don't believe that.
This is none of this.
That looks like
is real.
Aliens coming out of his leg. Like
it's just like an HDR filter.
I don't think that's real, bro.
No, this is real. Google it. All I gotta say is you don't want to tackle these guys, especially if they're low and running at you. You wouldn't want to tackle any of these guys.
That's dude. Mike Davis looks like a linebacker in that photo. Like
yeah. What's funny is Mike Davis' head looks tiny.
This gotta be Photoshop, man.
Like, look at his bicep. His head looks like the size of a bicep, and then like everything else is just enormous.
These proportions are all off. I feel
maybe he's great. Maybe he's gonna be super fantasy. Maybe he's an RB1.
I hope so. Mike Davis. I'm hoping.
And it got me thinking, like, which running backs' quads are small? And it's like, look at this picture. I think this picture answers which running backs' quads are actually small, and it's AJ Dillon's teammate. Look at this guy. He's got the twig legs. He's a skinny twig legs.
Two AJ Jones.
That's Aaron Jones
legs.
Yes, it says Aaron Jones.
Aaron Jones?
You drafted this guy in the first round or what?
I thought that was like a corner or something. That looked weird.
He's good. I mean, he's talented, but
Aaron Jones, yeah, he's super talented.
But I mean, look at no quads. I mean,
Brandon Jacobs was huge too, but he wasn't. I mean, he was all right.
He's just he's like a linebacker. He's trying to come back as a defensive end.
Oh yeah.
Tebow inspired. Yeah.
Tebow.
It's not gonna work. I don't think.
No. AJ Dillon's a specimen though. He can bulldoze people. Plus, he'll outrun them.
It's a great dynasty buy right now, especially with the uncertainty with Rodgers. Like,
I did it. I sent Chark, and I got a AJ Dillon and a 2nd round pick from.
I love that. That's incredible. That's incredible. I love that. That's a great one, man. That's a running back right there. Oh, he had Trevor Lawrence, so he wanted a stack.
He wanted the stack. He came to me. It was a late night text message, if I remember correctly, asking for a double stack.
Late night text.
It was executed the following morning after both of us slept on it.
Bro, that you got over on that trade for sure. That was a good trade. You made a great trade.
It's fair. It's fair. It's always fair.
No, you got over on him because I like Chark as well, but there's a lot of weapons there. I mean, how many receptions could ETN get? 70?
Hey,
this
that's
year.
a good amount. I would love to see him do that.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just I don't think that Chark. It's a risky. Chark is risky. We know AJ Dillon. Like, we know his roles is going to keep getting bigger and bigger. And really, the only way you got such a amazing trade is this Rodgers uncertainty. So that's why I'm telling people, hey, go take advantage of this Rodgers uncertainty. If you can get AJ Dillon, like, that's AJ Dillon. Also, on top of that, is what's labeled to be a post hype player. Well, that's one thing I want to talk about. I almost forgot about that. Another post hype player, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. One of the best draft values in redraft right now is Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Let's say he sucks. Let's say he doesn't score touchdowns. Let's say he's too small. Blah, blah, blah. Let's say all that, which is not true, but let's say all that. He's still the RB1 and not without a ton of competition either. Like, you could argue very, very, very little competition. No Le'Veon Bell, no Damian Williams. Damian Williams is in Chicago. Le'Veon Bell's back on his jet ski. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, RB1 on a top 2 offense.
Probably top 1.
It could be top 1, could be top 4. Yeah, it's top, I'm doing the conservative approach here. Let's just say top 2 to be conservative. Top 2 offense. Like, come on. Like, you can get this guy 3.10 in a 12-team redraft. That's just insane. So I'm thinking about trying to finagle and trying to use my influence. I don't know, somehow be able to get in these leagues that trade draft picks in redraft. Because everyone trades draft picks in Dynasty for sure. Yeah. But if I was able to find ways to trade picks in redraft, because those leagues, on Sleep or wherever those leagues exist, I'm thinking about like just living in that 3rd round right there. The J.K. Dobbins, Mixon. I know those guys are the ADP's starting to kind of even out now. But if I can get guys like Mixon, Dobbins, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and another guy I love great value is Myles Gaskin, who's going round 5. That's just freaky. Like, you could get a workhorse on a good team who had one game with single-digit fantasy points. One game, that's it.
It's wild.
And that game was like 9-something, I think. Yeah, and you can get that guy in round 5. So I'm thinking about living there. I always want I always want studs and duds. But now if I can get these round 3 players, I think that's where I'm going to be happy.
What's the best strategy in Dynasty, in my opinion? You basically trade your 1st and 2nd round picks, and you move into the 3rd and 4th and 5th round, and you let that value fall. And that's what you're saying. For
a startup Dynasty draft?
Right. So you're saying do the same thing in a redraft, which is smart. Because, you're going to get guys basically who are still ballers, pennies on the dollar.
And for some reason, statistically, round 3, I don't know why. There doesn't seem to be any reason why, but round 3 seems to be a money round. For some reason, round 5 is okay, but round 4 is not. So, and I'm looking at mostly 12-team redraft data. For some reason, if you're thinking about every time you've had a very successful team and won, like that round 3, you've always hit on it. Myself, DeAndre Hopkins in round 3 a few years ago. Like round 3 is that money round where you always get your best draft pick. Like, and I'm just going off, I don't remember, maybe Aaron Jones 2 years ago, something like that. A 2019 championship, Aaron Jones, that round 3 is that money round. It always is. And this year, like, that's where I want to live, because there's so much uncertainty after the top 5, after Henry, Saquon, C-Mac, Dalvin, and who's the guy I'm forgetting? Kamara. After those 5, I don't even know what to do. Do you go Kelsey 6 overall? Do you go Chubb 6 overall? Tough. Do you go Zeke? You don't want to go Devontae Adams 6 overall. Probably not definitely not Tyreek Hill 6 overall.
So Dalvin Cook?
I know he's going 2nd overall.
He's going 2nd? Oh wow.
Yeah, and I take him top 2 for sure.
Wow.
So
who's the other one?
I named the top 5. This is the top 5. Henry, Kamara, Saquon, Dalvin, and C-Mac. Those are always going top 5. So after that, I have no idea what to do in round 1. Your options after that are Chubb, Kelsey, Devontae Adams, Tyreek Hill, Jonathan Taylor. Six is so early for Taylor.
DeAndre Swift. What do you think about DeAndre Swift? I mean,
no.
Too high?
What?
Yeah. Well, actually, I'm very conflicted on DeAndre Swift, but right now, DeAndre Swift, by the way, is going like late round 2.
Okay, that's what I figured. I'm like, there's no way he's going.
That's not even a question for.
I got a friend in a league who's really high on DeAndre Swift this year. I don't know if he's that high on him, but
maybe
I was
just high
names because of this draft I just did.
Yeah, he's
DeAndre Swift. He went in early second round in a dynasty redraft. That was 202. So yeah, you're right. I mean, that's pretty high probably for him still.
Yeah, and so in a redraft, that would equal out to like 2.06.
Would you go Akers? What about Akers?
Yeah, well, not at 6 overall. That's my point. That's the point I'm trying to make. Is that after the top 5, it's scary. If you have a mid to late first round pick, that's why I want to just trade into the options.
I think you got to go Zeke and just hope for the best, like bounce back here.
I've seen all the options. Trade out if you can. If not, you got to go.
This pick is OTC. Like OTB, sorry, OTP.
Yeah, like
on the block.
Anybody want a first round pick? Yeah, like hey, I mean, you could go Kelsey. Like that's not that bad. At least you got the best tight end. Like
I'd rather do that. I think that's like.
And then the only rule after that is you cannot draft a quarterback early. So if you get Kelsey, you're going running back, wide receiver, and that's it for the next 5 picks. Like that
for sure, 100% sure.
Don't mess around.
You might go 2 running backs in a row, second and third round.
Depends who's there. Like if Justin Jefferson's round 3, like I'm taking him 100% of the time. That's also another team that is probably not going to get Julio. So some people are Metcalf versus Jefferson's a good one. I think Metcalf is going before Jefferson most of the time. But I'm team Jefferson for sure.
Really?
I think he's better, well-rounded.
Okay.
People like to, right? You always say, "Oh, he's a rookie; he can improve." Well, I mean, let's not. We want people to improve when we want him to, but like, why can't Jefferson improve? Just because he's so good? Like
honestly, DK is just like a specimen. Like he's special. Like he has talents that.
Okay, how about if they get Julio? I mean, that just completely ruins it. I like Jefferson. I like Jefferson more than Metcalf, but it's really close. Like I'm not hating on Metcalf. Like he's still really good. He
looks fast against those track and field. I was like, this is crazy what he's doing.
He's great. He's going to be great with Wilson. I'm just saying. I like Jefferson a little bit better, and then on top of that, 3rd year
is when they break out. Though the 3rd year is when it's like the peak.
Okay for Jefferson. It was the 3rd game as soon as the coach started him. That's all I'm saying. All I'm saying is we like to say things like, see, you just said that the 3rd year. What about Jefferson? Like he can improve. I'm just saying
DK, this could be like his best year. Like this is the trajectory of his,
Okay, but if Justin Jefferson gets 1% better than last year, that's still worth the 2nd round pick. Like that's how great Jefferson was. Jefferson was amazing. No corner could defend him. He prepared well. And like he was a rookie with, come on, like he can get better. DK's great. Anyway, like I'm actually not trying to debate that right now. If you want DK over Jefferson, that's fine. But what I would debate is that Seahawks have a much higher chance of getting Julio than Jefferson. No one's necessarily doing a redraft right now, but if we were, I'm factoring that in and I'm moving Jefferson way ahead of DK because if the Seahawks get Julio, I think DK's value is totally ruined.
I don't think it's ruined
for a round 2 pick. See, AJ Brown gets hurt too, but I don't think as much as Metcalf. You see what I mean? Because Julio's going to help AJ Brown a lot as well. But if the Seahawks get Julio, I don't think there's a more detrimental Julio fantasy impact scenario than Metcalf just gets demolished. Like Metcalf is more like a round 4 wide receiver now with Julio there.
Yeah, I think people would debate with you, but I think you would be right in terms of him dropping value with Julio there, but I don't know if it'd be that much.
I mean, he's gonna throw to Everett. He's gonna throw to Lockett. He's gonna throw to Metcalf.
Well, they throw every play anyways.
If you go get Julio, you're not gonna. What do you think? Julio's gonna really be a complimentary guy? Like, I mean,
Russ wants to throw it. He wants to cook, baby. Let him
but he's gonna get a ton of targets from. Like, if they trade for him, they're gonna use Julio. Like, that's what I think. So that's. And that Hopkins, I'd go over. I mean, if they get Julio, if the Seahawks get Julio, AJ Brown's better than Metcalf, Jefferson's better than Metcalf, Hopkins better than Metcalf.
Those are bold takes. A lot of people like Metcalf, but I see where you're going. I see
get Julio. That's what I mean.
I get your point.
I don't know how you can deny that.
Redraft only. We're talking redraft value.
Because Julio. Yeah, I actually don't think Julio has a ton of long term. I think he doesn't have much left.
Couple years.
I think this is his last year because
he's got 2 years max.
Wins the Super Bowl and retires.
Because people don't want to say this, but he could have 0 years left. Just one fatal injury and it's over. So I'm kind of including everything that can go wrong, and that's why I'm saying 1 year. Because he can have another injury-riddled year, and he's not at the age where if he had a big injury, he can come back. Like it could be bad.
Yeah, he literally could get hurt enough to where he plays about one season worth over the next 2 seasons. Like,
look at AJ Green. It happened to AJ Green, his fellow rival, like the guy we always compared him to. Like AJ Green's not even like relevant anymore. So we'll see, but I don't know what I don't know why we got into that.
We're still looking at AJ Dillon's backside.
Yeah, we have no more visuals, but no, that's all.
What
that's
about
all I
the
got.
throne? How about we?
The throne. And then I got a draft
coming up. Returning champion,
Throne
fantasy
League.
Couch community, Throne League.
Throne League.
Put it up.
Is coming.
Put it up.
So draft order is gonna in 24 hours. So Friday. I don't know if you guys listening to the audio. So this Friday, June 4th, we're doing the draft order, and then the draft starts in a couple of weeks. I think the draft we're starting like June 14th, Monday or something. So
how are they deciding the draft order?
Smitty has a ping pong. Nice. I mean, he thinks it's okay. I mean, he thinks it's really cool, but
he thinks he's David Stern popping.
But it's not it's good, but I think he thinks it's way cooler than it is. Like, he's still spinning it with his hands, and then he has to look in the air and then pick a ping pong. It's not like if you had the vacuum, like you have to get a vacuum, and then you get like one of those Alhambra water, those big, the 5-gallon jug, 10-gallon jug water bottles, and then it goes like this, and then it spits out like that's cool. But he just has a little, he has a little Amazon Prime, like little whatever. But it's still it's still better than the hat though. So we're gonna decide that way. I'm telling you right now, I want the first overall pick. Give me first overall. Give us first overall, second overall. So for those that don't know, the Throne League is a 12-team redraft league. It's super special. It's community versus community. So we, as the Couch fam, me, my followers, you guys, everyone, we as a community decide who to pick. We vote on every single pick. We make every decision together. I get a vote, Drew gets a vote, Mike gets a vote, but we each get one vote. Like, your vote counts the same as mine. It's fun, man. We set up a Discord. I'm gonna drop the link right here.
Drop that.
So if you do want to join, here is the secret Discord link. I just dropped that. You have 7 days for that link to work. And we set up a war room there, right? We go over every pick, every possibility. Do we go QB here? Do we go tight end? Do we draft a third running back? And then we set up a vote. We vote. I call it. It gets kind of out of hand, which is cool. And I even hop on the voice chat with you guys when we can sometimes, and we discuss it. Last year was highlighted by the Todd Gurley versus Aaron Jones vote. That was a big debacle. And then a very moving essay by Sushane to draft Chase Claypool. It was one of the best essays ever written, period, probably. to draft Chase Claypool in like round 15. And
Sushane is the man, though.
It was a good draft pick. I was with it. Somehow we barely got, like, we won by 1 vote. Like, the other guy we were gonna draft is so garbage. I don't even remember who in round 15. There's really no other better pick than Claypool. God, yeah. Like, come on, like, are you kidding me? So we won it last year
of the draft.
We actually, when people say, "Oh, we got unlucky," I got unlucky. Peep how we won, guys. Never give up. We actually got the most unlucky. In all, like, in fantasy, when you talk about luck, like, we got very unlucky and we still won because of perseverance. We drafted a ton of we call them couch boys. That's why I mixed that. We drafted a ton of Cowboys. Everyone made fun of us and we made fun of ourselves. We said, how about them couch boys? So, like, we knew what was up. I was like, we're trying to win first place. I was like, look, if the Cowboys die, we die. If the Cowboys have, a top 4 offense, we're probably a playoff team and we can go places. And the season started and the Cowboys to me, they looked nearly 3 times better than the year before. They were clearly the best offense. Zeke was having, like, the best year. Dak put it all together because Dak was the guy in 2019 that he'd have to make comebacks, and he played 2.5 quarters or 3.5 quarters like crap, and then all of a sudden throw 2-3 touchdowns. Like, that's what the Cowboys were in 2019. In 2020, Cowboys were on fire. We went 5-0. So we had CeeDee Lamb, Zeke, Pollard, and Dak. We went 5-0. Dak gets hurt. Then we go 0-5. Oh. But because of all the waiver moves we made and the perseverance we had, like, I just kept at it. And then we made this epic traded away CeeDee Lamb to go get Lamar Jackson because of that sweet playoff schedule in a 1 QB. This is why I like Superflex a lot. In a 1 QB league, you cannot trade. Like, nobody wants a quarterback. You can't trade the number 1 drafted quarterback. That's how you literally cannot trade away Lamar Jackson. So we were offered that trade. We took it in a heartbeat. And you guys know Lamar Jackson did well the last few games. Great schedule. And we just went on a tear and won the whole thing. It was quite an epic battle, and we claimed the throne, baby.
To be offered that trade, though, it's not like you offered it. You see, like, it was there just to hit accept. That's beautiful. Gotta love when that happens.
Well, that guy, he was desperate. They needed to buy a win, like, right away. And
was Lamar on a bye week? Can't remember.
Do I have this? No, that didn't. No, he just needed to win right away. And I'm trying to show I made an NFT. I'm gonna put this NFT up for sale. So we even have a throne NFT. That's me with the crown and our winning lineup. So he had Justin Herbert, and he needed a win. So that community proposed a trade to us, and we took it. But that was an epic win. If you want to be part of it, join the Discord. If you can't click on the link or don't know what Discord, like, if you need help, just hit me up, DM, Instagram, or hit me up on Twitter. Like, find me someplace. I'll get you set up, but no BS on the Discord. Like, if you're annoying, if you break any rules, if you just constantly post dumb stuff that we don't like, we're gonna boot you out.
Yeah, they'll hit the eject button.
Yeah, I'm just being quite frank, and that's a good thing because it's actually a cool place people want to be and talk football, talk throne. Yeah, it's a great community. I love Discord, and hope to see you there.
We got one more announcement in case you're trying to end it, sir. But we have a Devi League, which maybe some of you guys don't know what Devi is.
What is a Devi League?
We'll have to go over this in a future podcast, more in detail. But you actually draft college players. And the idea is that these college players then would be on your fantasy football team once they make it to the NFL. So the idea is you have a startup draft, and then you have a Devi draft, typically with the college players that are available, and then each year you have another Devi draft plus another rookie draft, because there are some rookies who slip through the cracks when it comes to the Devi draft. So I know that's a lot of information really quick, but the idea is that we're actually one person short. we have an interesting story. In fact, there was an owner, we mentioned his name earlier, Scope. He actually made a couple moves. He ended up getting the first overall pick. Then he got the third overall pick. So he's making moves. And then he drafts Mahomes, drafts Kyler by about round 2 or 3. He didn't like the fact that it was a slow draft and this was taking forever. So he kind of like talked his way out of it and everything was cool. We got a replacement. This replacement, there was a disagreement in like round 22 on a trade with Debbie picks involved or not. So we're actually looking for a new owner, a third owner for this team with bad omens already. It would seem
the Debbie Downer is what you're saying.
The Debbie Downer. This is good, man. You're hitting it on the spot. Let me read off this guy's team just so you guys could decide. But we're taking applications is my point. So let's talk about it. His team current roster: Kyler Murray, Roethlisberger. He's got Taysom Hill, David Montgomery, Trey Sermon, Zach Moss, Kenneth Gainwell, Jamal Williams, CeeDee Lamb, mentioning him, Brandon Ayuk, Jalen Waddle, Deontay Johnson, Jalen Reagor, Denzel Mims, Darnell Mooney, Gabe Davis, Marquise Brown. He's also got Amari Rodgers and Troutman, and then Long from the Dolphins. So we're actually doing a call. If anybody in this podcast wants to jump into Debbie League, it's really low. I don't know if I can say how much it's entry fee on the podcast, but
yeah, you can.
It's only $15, guys, because what we're doing is this is the first time this group has done any kind of Debbie League, so we're just kind of testing out the format, if you will. So yeah, hit up Hussein. You can hit me up too on Discord. It's just my first and last name, so it's actually Andrew Eggers, although people call me Drew. But yeah, we'd love to have another owner of this league so we can resume the draft. We're still on pause.
We'll get one. I'll post it on. Let's start off something easy like Facebook. Let's not resort to Twitter yet.
Yeah, no.
I'll post it on Facebook, and then we'll see. Because you post it on Twitter, you're taking a big risk.
The guy ended up trading Mahomes, by the way. If you're wondering why he wasn't on the aforementioned players, he traded Mahomes mid-draft. So the team still looks pretty good if you want to join. But thanks for your help on that.
Well, I don't know after that trade.
I'm giving disclaimers. Sorry.
What a sales pitch.
Oh, and by the way, the last thing I want to mention is the $15 for this season's already been paid. So it's a free year if you want to join. Then
you're not even going to charge person?
At this point, I mean, shoot.
Would you sell itself?
Charge him. This is what I'd do is charge him for next year.
Well, yeah, he'll get eventually charged, I think.
No. I would charge him now for next year.
Well,
that way, if he drops out.
Sushane, you're watching.
If he drops out, you keep the 15. If he doesn't, then he's paid for next year. Like that to me, that's still a great deal.
If he's free rolling this year, he's just gonna drop it. He's just gonna
because it sounds like a third person could drop.
It is a couch league, and technically, yeah. So it's a Debbie couch league. We're doing it right now to get people interested in this new format. So
I'll post it on
another podcast.
Enough talk about this. I'll post it on Facebook, and then. Somebody, come on, a couch Debbie League, $15. Somebody want, and this year's paid for. Somebody want to join. Another announcement: I have a dynasty draft this Saturday. You guys have been keeping up with this league. So the league that I'm in with you guys, the Superflex Couch Empire League, not doing so well. But in this one, my team is ready to roll. I think I'm a Super Bowl ready this year. I got Mahomes, Barkley, Chris Carson, Diggs, Ayuk, Kittle, Sutton. Dolphins D, Big Ben, Devontae Booker, Rojo, Damian Harris, Singletary, Joshua Kelly, Sterling Shepard, Robbie Anderson, Antonio Brown, Jalen Reagor, Chase Claypool, Jonnu Smith, Chargers, and I traded for Jeff Wilson because I wanted to clear roster space. He was IR eligible, so I traded for Jeff Wilson, and I got KJ Hamler. I need to drop. My team's so good. I need to drop players. So it's a good team.
Trade.
No, I tried. Nobody wants. I tried to give away Sterling Shepard for a fourth round. I tried to trade Canadian Mike. I said, give me a third. I'll give you Robbie Anderson and Sterling Shepard. He said it was a very good, fair trade, but he said no go. So
wow, Robbie Anderson.
Nobody wants it. It's 2 wide receivers. No one cares about wide receivers. That's how it is. Yeah, you make that one rule change, and everyone is stacked at wide receiver. Everyone has 6-7 wide receivers. It just including me. Yeah. Like at wide receiver, I can start Diggs, Ayuk, Sutton, Mapletron, Robbie Anderson, Antonio Brown, Sterling Shepard. Like I can start all those guys, and then Jalen Reagor if he becomes something. Still holding out hope for that. Yeah, but I got that draft. Saturday. I'll be filming it. We will not be live, just in case bad things happen. That's it. Jason, what's up, man? Hope you get in a league this year. But that's it, guys. Hit me up for the Throne League. Draft's going to be starting soon. It's important to get in on day 1. You don't want to be voting for who we draft in round 11. That's stupid. Like after the first 10, you want to vote who we draft first overall, second overall. Super important to get in the very first pick. So we got Throne League going and hope to win back-to-back champs. All right, guys.
Back-to-back.
That's it. Make sure you guys subscribe on all the channels and leave a review for your audio podcast listeners. Reviews really help out. Peace.